our mind is that why it is important to know the soil, why we are studying about the properties of soil, why we are studying about the soil. We are studying about the soil because we all are dependent on the soil. Okay, so it becomes very important to know about this natural resource. For example, if you want to grow tomato, okay, now tomato doesn't grow on all the soils. Okay, it has different requirements. So unless and until you don't know about the soil, the properties of the soil, you won't be able to grow the best crop on any particular soil. That is the reason why it becomes extremely important for all of us to know about the soil. So we are going to learn about the properties of soil. So let us see what are the various properties of soil in brief here. So the first property, there are basically three properties. The first one is absorption of soil, as you can see on the screen, moisture of soil, percolation of water. Now let us see percolation of water in the first class. Now to understand the percolation, let us recall a very simple observation that I am very much sure that you must have observed. Children, if you notice and if you can recall, I am sure that you must have seen this type of situation. Now can you tell me that the pool of water that you see after the rain, okay, it disappears after a few days. For example, this is a pool which is formed by the rain. It will disappear after a few days. Yes, so where does that water goes? Where the water goes? Because we are not draining it anywhere, but still after a few days the water disappears. Where does it go? The answer to that question is that half of the water evaporates. We all know that sun is the continuous source of heat on the earth, and with the heat of this sun, the water evaporates. It forms vapors and it evaporates. Now the rest or the remaining water goes down underground. Goes in the ground, whereas some part of the water is absorbed by the soil. So now you can tell that where and why that pool of water formed by the rain disappear after a few days, because some of it evaporates, rest part of it goes underground, or some of it is absorbed by the soil. Now this passing down of water, is known as percolation. Now we all know that soil has little minute spaces in between them. It is very porous. We all know that soil is porous. So if water is there, it percolates down. It finds its way down the other horizons, or we can say the other layers of the soil. So this property is known as percolation. And why this happens? Because soil allows water to flow through it with the help of the gaps which are present there. So this happens due to the gaps which are present in the soil. And this property of soil is called as percolation. Now what is percolation? Percolation basically means passing down. So percolation is the passing down of water through the gaps, through the holes, or through the spaces present in the soil. So this is known as percolation. I'm sure and I hope that you have understood what is percolation. Now this we have already discussed that whenever water is on the ground, half of it is absorbed by the soil, whereas the remaining portion, it percolates and it is collected as groundwater. So the water that percolates means that passes down is collected as groundwater, and some of it is retained by the soil. We all know that soil has this property to hold the water. Soil has this property to hold the water. So some of the water is also retained, or that we can say absorbed by the soil, while the rest percolates down and is collected as groundwater. Now we all know, children, that when the water percolates, it will go in the other horizons. It will go in the underground. Okay. So it simply means that if there will be more percolation, How? For example, this is a sample of soil, okay, and it has spaces in between them. Suppose this is sandy soil. It has more spaces in between them. It means that more water will percolate, more water will pass. If more water is percolating, it means that less water this soil is absorbing. Yes, because the soil is not able to absorb the water. That is why the water is percolating more. Okay, so it shows that higher percolation rate will cause lower absorption capacity of the soil, or we can say if the soil has lower absorption capacity, there will be higher percolation rate because the soil is not able to absorb. So water is passing down, and that passing down is known as percolation, and that speed is known as percolation rate. And less water is absorbed by the soil. Thus, the absorption capacity of a soil is opposite to its percolation rate. If soil is able to absorb more, so water will percolate less. Okay, understood? Next. So, okay. Yes. Now, percolation rate varies with the type of soil. Now, it is not such that all the types of soil, sandy soil, clayey soil, loamy soil, will have same percolation rate. Different type of soil has different percolation rate. Why? Can you tell why? Because of the size particle. Because of the particles size. We all know that soil is made up of small particles or big particles. Okay. So due to the size of the particles, due to the difference in the size of soil particles, percolation differs. Now let us see what are they. Let's understand clayey soil. So clayey soil has a higher absorption capacity. So how? First of all, you need to know the structure of clayey soil. So if you can see the clayey soil, it has very small particles. It is very small. Their particles are very small in size. There is hardly any gap. Okay. So if the soil is passing through, it has hardly any gap. So this is a clayey soil. Okay. So if we will drain some water, it will not find any gap to percolate. Okay, so the soil will absorb more water. Okay, so the water will be absorbed more. Okay, more water will be absorbed. More water will be absorbed in the case of clayey soil. So if the more water is absorbing, it means the percolation will be less because water is not passing, so percolation rate will be less. So you can see here, so this is the clay sample. In clay sample there is very small particles, so the water is absorbed more. Tiny particles in clay soil can hold more water. They hold more water. This stops water from flowing out into the lower horizon, which means that it has lower percolation rate. So we can say that thus clay soil has low percolation rate because it holds more water. It is holding more water, so less water is percolating down. Now sandy soil. Now sandy soil has low absorption capacity. Sandy soil means the soil which you find in beaches. It has particles with big size. Okay, these particles are little bigger in size. So if you will drain water, it will easily pass. Okay, because soil cannot absorb it. Soil cannot absorb it. Soil cannot hold it. Okay, soil cannot hold it, right? Because it is percolating through the spaces. It has more spaces. So that is the reason why sandy soil has low absorption capacity. It has low absorption capacity. It has low holding capacity. It means that it has higher percolation. It has higher percolation rate because more water is percolating in this case. So if you can see here with the help of this picture, so if you will drain water in the sandy soil, it will not be absorbed because it will all percolate down in the lower horizons, as you can see here. Okay, more water will percolate because the large coarse particles, the big particles in the sandy soil cannot hold water efficiently. They cannot hold water, thus water flows into the lower horizons. It means that it has higher percolation rate. It has higher percolation capacity. So it will have higher percolation rate. Percolation rate basically means the speed. It will tell you the speed at which the water is percolating, the speed at which the water is passing. Thus, sandy soil has a greater percolation rate. Now, if we talk about the percolation of loamy soil. So, loamy soil has the particles size in between sandy soil and clay soil. Sandy soil particles are very big, clay particles are small in size, very small in size, whereas loamy soil particles, they are between these two. So, their size is not that big and not that small as well. So, their absorption capacity is somewhere in between clays and sandy soil. Here also we will see that it has the mixture of fine and coarse particles. Loamy soil, it has a mixture of sandy soil and clay soil. So it behaves in between these two types of soil. Their property is the mixture of clay and sandy soil. So it holds more water than sandy soil but does not. It holds more water than sandy soil but less than clay. Okay, clay soil hold most of the water. Okay, sandy soil holds very less water, but this soil holds in between these two types of soil. It holds more water than the sandy soil but less water than the clay soil. So it is somewhere between these two types of soil. So that is the reason why this is most suitable soil in terms of agriculture, in terms of growing crops or in terms of anything, because their particle size are very apt. They have right amount of water holding capacity and right amount of percolation capacity. So here we can conclude that sandy soil has higher percolation. It allows more water to pass. Clay soil has lower percolation rate because it holds a lot of water. Water cannot pass through these small particles in this case, whereas loamy soil has the capacity in between these two soil. Thus, its percolation rate is higher than clay and lower than sandy. Its percolation rate is higher than clay and lower than sandy. I hope it is clear. Now, the property of soil that allows water to flow in through the gap present in soil particles is called as percolation. The property of the soil by which it allows the water to pass through the gaps present in between and deposit and accumulate underground is known as, or you can say the lower horizon is known as percolation, and this speed is known as percolation rate. So now percolation rate can be found out mathematically. If you remember, children, we have also done one experiment. You watch the video that in that we have done a very simple experiment to calculate the percolation rate. What you need to know is that take a sample of soil. You can see all the video, all the experiment there. I will not be discussing the experiment here. So there is this simple mathematical formula for conducting or for calculating percolation. In that you could divide amount of water with percolation time and you can get the percolation rate. If we know the time taken, for a certain amount of water to percolate down the soil, we get the percolation rate. Okay, for example, it took about if at some sample of soil it takes about 30 minutes to percolate the water down the lower horizon. So you can take the amount of water here and divide 30 and you will get the percolation rate. Here you can see the video in that we have done the experiment. So this is, suppose this is the amount of water that you have drained in the soil. This is the time taken by that particular water to percolate in that particular sample of soil. You can divide them and you will get the percolation rate. Now we can also find out the amount of water absorbed by the soil. For example, if you can also do this experiment. We have conducted this experiment also. Go and watch it. You can easily find out the water absorbed by the soil by this formula U minus V ml. So, and what is U? U is the initial amount of water that you pour in any particular mathematically find it, and I am sure now you can easily compare that why percolation rate differs in different types of soil due to its